How you going? I'm Stewie, and I just muck around and do stuff at home, but I had a big problem trying to put Cornice up. I looked at all the videos and didn't matter what I did, it didn't come out right. So I worked out a formula, so I'm just going to share that with you. What you'll need to do is have a mitre box. That's for Cornice, and it's got a little edge here that the Cornice sits in. I always put the top on the edge there. It sits in like that for cutting. Now, I tried using a normal saw and it rips the corners, so get a hacksaw with a nice sharp blade and that does a nice clean cut. You'll need that. You'll need a pencil and you'll need a tape measure. That's all you need. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut two templates. A left template and a right template, and we're going to mark these on the wall. So what I did to make it easier for me was to mark on my mitre box left and right, so I knew which cut. So once you've got your mitre box, you'll need to cut two pieces of Cornice as a template, and they don't have to be very long. Make sure it's on the top and you put it up on the wall. And this is the tricky bit. If it's too low, look at the gap that will be there. And if it's too high, there'll be a gap at the bottom. So the trick is to make sure that there is no gap. So what I do is I put them together, slide them in, and then that tells me exactly where it's going to be fitting. So that's a good fit right there. It just needs a little bit of adjustment. Now, see how I move that up slightly? Then I take my pencil and I mark exactly where that's going to be, and then mark the bottom where it's going to be. Put that one down there and mark that one. Okay, now I have a top and a bottom and a top and a bottom for that corner piece. So when I put the larger piece in, as long as I match up to those lines, that will be perfect. Stop. Right, so once you've measured your wall corner to corner, I've just done mine, it was 1437. So I make the first cut, which was the left cut, and then I would measure and make a mark here, 1437, and then transfer that to the top. And that's the bit that I'm going to cut. 1437 should be right there where my finger is. That's the 1437, not at the top, it's on the back end. 1437 is where the wall is. It's really important that you measure to that outside edge, 1437. Once you've done that, you take your Cornice cement. Now, I just buy this one, okay? It's Cornice cement, don't mix it up. If you mix it up, it dries very quickly and then you waste your money. So you just take as much as you need out of that, put it onto your pallet, like that, and then grab your Cornice. I have a box, I'll put on mine, and then you just edge the Cornice cement all the way along here like this. That's all you need to do. Make sure you don't get too much on anywhere else. You do have to go relatively quickly on this one. Okay, stop. So when you've done your gibrock either side, you just got to be careful to hold it. So normally I just pinch it like that, and I've got to carry it up and put it on. Okay, now you'll need to have a wet sponge with you ready to go, so that when you've put it up you can wipe off the excess. Stop. Once you've got it, make sure the top's at the top, and then you just place it in. Now it's not going to stay there, and you're going to have to move it around, but try and get it in as close as you can to your line to start, otherwise you won't see your line. So there was my line there, and I know the lines are at the bottom. Up here is a little bit different. I'm just moving it now into that line, and then I push it in Okay, so I've pushed it in like that. I know where that line is. Right there. Right. I'll push it along a little bit. Push it there. Right, okay. So that's pretty much where it's going to stay. Now it's not going to stay there, and that's the next trick, is how it's going to stay there. So you need to get a hammer and some little tack nails, and then once you've got it on its line, tap it down to that line. It's right there. Okay, I'm going to pin this in, and pin that there, and that's going to hold it in. And then I'll do the same at the end, and then one at the middle. Now, at any point here that you're unsure, you can get your template and just mark it. So, stop. So I've got the left and the right, and so this one's the left one. And I'm just going to make sure that it's going to fit perfect. Okay, so actually it's not perfect. It's not quite right. So it needs to come down a little bit. I can do that with my hammer and just tap it. Don't tap it too hard because you'll break the. Let's see. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now it's fitting right in there. You'll be able to fill that little gap in there with a little bit of mastic, a little bit of Cornice cement. And then the right one, I'm putting it over here. Oh, that one's perfect. Okay, so that's absolutely perfect in there, fitting in exactly how we should. So when we put this piece up here, which is the long piece, we know that it's going to be right because we've used our template. So, stop.